family. We're gonna take on my commute to work. I'm gonna hang out for a little bit, see how things are going. But part of my process is I always check on the plants in the way. Clay's garden looking good. Cherry tomatoes starting to get ripe. That's the chocolate cherry. Pretty cool. It's all flecked. Those all look good. The dahlia garden. We just got it, so it shouldn't be much there. But I have a super long commute to work. It's a solid 20-second walk. But it is a beautiful day here in Massachusetts. 70 degrees. Dynamite. There's my other dahlia garden. We got some ready to pop, but we did just cut them. Looks like the Chinatown, the cactus dahlia. They'll be the first ones. Everything looks good. Part of my process is checking the crops. Here's our dwarf bananas, but you always got to check them. See how they are in water. They're gonna need it in a little bit. I don't want them drying out, so it's part of my routine. Checking the perennials. The mums, watered them yesterday, but these things are heavy drinkers. Yeah, they're definitely gonna need it. I got some cool colors in mums actually. See, this is why I do it. See that guy? You got missed yesterday, or the dripper's not right. So I'll go water him. Go over here. Can always fix things. Everything's not perfect. The wind blows things over. Here's our colocasia garden. Look at that leaf. Isn't that a cool leaf? Waikiki. And then we go into where all the magic happens. Today, we are going to be starting with some Tradescantia. I'm going to shut that fan off because that thing is super annoying. So I am going to gather some Tradescantia, shut the fan off, just hang out. I'll be back in a few minutes. Just stare at Buddha. Get you sit back there a little bit. So today I got a lot of maintenance tasks, but first I'm going to start with my red Tradescantia. These things are beautiful plants, but as most of you know, they probably have a tendency to get leggy. Doesn't look very good. And so I constantly have to clip these and poke them back in so that they get nice and full. And the goal is to have a beautiful plant like this. Now, this is the purple one, but you can see how full that is. That's exactly what we want. All right, so this is pretty easy. Basically, I just go along. Let's see if I can angle you down here. How we doing, YT? Kamal? Can't get this thing any lower, so we're gonna hold it up. But when you're pruning these Tradescantias, I'm just gonna go right above a leaf, and I'm gonna stay very close to the pot, only another couple inches, just like that, that. And this way, we're gonna keep getting it to bush out. So now you can see there's no more leggy ones along the side, but I still want to do the top. That looks a lot better. And now what I do is take my little poker here, and then we take one of the clippings I just did. And I don't want a leaf buried, so I'm just gonna pull one off. But when we zoom in, if you ever notice Tradescantias, you see right here, it's all these little hairs. Well, those are just aerial roots. So the second they go into soil, they become real roots. That's how easy these are to propagate. You don't need water, you just need soil. But the soil mass can be a little dense. So what I do is I take a little stick and I make my hole. Then that way I can just put my stem right in. Because if you try to jam these stems in, chances are they're just gonna break. I don't know where all the birds are today. Usually I have some great background music with all the birds chirping. I feel like I gotta start singing or something, but then nobody will watch. This one's getting pretty full, so when I start these, normally I can fit like 8 different stems in there. This one's getting to be a little hard, so this might actually be the last time I have to do this one. Before, what I'll do is after these are full, I'll either sell them, and then if they keep growing, I'll transplant them into the bigger hanging baskets like I just showed you. Let's see. See how much nicer that looks? See how it started? It started like this. And now it's nice and compact. Then any of the extra ones I don't use, if I have to, I'll make more pots and start new cuttings. But I think I have a pretty good inventory right about now. Well, this one actually looks pretty good because there's no stragglers. It's just all tall height. So all I'm going to do is just top these. And by that, I mean I'm just going to snip off the top growth points of the big guys. And hopefully what that'll cause them to do is send out their side branches. It's It's nice to get in and close and with these plants too, because it's another good opportunity to really check for any pests or any nutrient deficiencies. Really just get up close and personal with plants, because when you get a big greenhouse with lots of plants, you can have a tendency to forget about things or just assume things are so easy and you take it for granted, and then you don't really look at them until it's too late. Fun fact about Tradescantias, if you did not know, is that these plants are one of the only natural plants to produce their own rooting hormone. So if you're familiar with propagation, a lot of times we use rooting hormone, whether it be a gel or a powder, anything like that. Well, in areas of the world where they don't have access to those things, they have plenty of Tradescantia. They'll actually use the juice. They'll crush all this up, or they peel back a big stem, and they'll use that juice as a rooting hormone for other things that they're trying to root. I know Mother Nature is so cool. So many good uses. And I think I'm gonna have to put these outside, because one thing I'm struggling with is I don't know if you can see, but I get like these hard water stains. I think it's from my well water. Not that it really hurts the plant, but it doesn't look pretty. The other thing is, I see this is an old flower cluster. No need for that. Here's the birds. The other thing is, when you're putting them in trays, part of what we have to do is, you can see I skip every other pot cell, because that way we got to give these room to spread and grow, and want some airflow in there. So another part, when you're a grower, one tray at one point becomes 2 trays, maybe even 3 trays of space down the road as they continue to grow, so you can give them enough space. I'll be right back. Turn on some of those inflation fans. It's getting hot. Listen to this thing. Crazy. Way too much. Hope that's not too annoying for you, those fans. Again, I'm new to this whole YouTube live thing, so hope you're having a great day at work. Hope these fans don't bother you. Oh man, look at this variegation. Look at how cool this leaf is. Isn't that weird? And that's not a bug either. Kind of looks like a bug trail, but when I flip it over, that is not an insect, dude. Here's another one. It's pretty cool. Love this stuff. When I'm cutting these, you know, you can see here I got a side shoot right here. So I'm just gonna cut it right above that side shoot. I'm wondering where I cut these. That way there's not too much of a dead stem that you have to look at or remove later. All right, gonna do it for the trade scantia. That was like probably 8 or 9 4.5 inch pots. Look how much cuttings I have. No way I can use all these, but it's okay. I use what I can. Now we're gonna get on to the next thing. Just another thing. Actually, probably gonna want to tilt you over here more because we got some planting to do now. Now, I'm going to take a few of our 3-inch, this is ruby necklace. Kind of similar to the string of bananas. Well, if you notice, it's got purple stems. And they got these yellow flowers. So, I sell these in different sizes, but let's see, hold on. There we go. See, that's one in a hanging basket. Well, that looks cool. About to get some yellow flowers. All right, we got our black hanging baskets. These are the ones I like to use for like house plants or succulents. Kind of go well. Double my soil. How we doing, Kimberly? Trying to respond. Getting relatively new at this. I get so involved in planting that I forget to even look at the comments. Talking. So here we go. You can see that the ruby necklace is huge. Just gonna squeeze it. Pop them out. Roots aren't too bad, but I always like to break them up a little bit. And now when I'm planting, kind of put it in the middle. I want it about a 1/2 inch lower than the edge, so that way we can have a nice little pool of water, a little well, so when we water, it doesn't all just spill right over. I'll go put the hanger back on. And just like that, we've got the start of a new ruby necklace. And if you're transplanting any like strings of pearls, dolphins, bananas, any of this stuff like this, you're kind of tempted to have these like hang over like this, but these will all root. So I would encourage you to take any and just coil them back up onto the soil surface, just like this. Here you can see, I don't know if I can zoom in. See a little root on these stems underneath. So as soon as they're in the soil, I'm gonna give this some water, then all of that will root up, and then this plant will just explode with exponentially more roots and spill over the edges. And this is what I love about succulents too, is what I'm trying to go with the business model where I don't always have to buy these. So I plant what I can, but then I'll save a few as my mother plants. And when I need more, I just cut, propagate, make new ones. He's got some flowers. See, this is the start of a flower. But as a grower, I'm not selling this plant for a while because I need it to grow out. So I snip the flowers off. If you don't, what happens is I get all these expired flowers, all this dead stuff that just lands all over the plant. When I am ready to sell it, it takes a little while to clean it up. So I'll cut the flowers when I can up until I'm ready to sell it. If you're a home person, I wouldn't cut them. It's not like the plant's really going to grow much faster like other things. Succulents kind of just grow at their normal rate. It's more about just taking these vines and putting them back into the soil surface. So you get nice full top growth, then it will spill over. Another little fun fact thing is, if you're looking at hanging baskets, you can see this has two kinds. I can clip them here, just like over one, like a lot of them do. It'll only clip on one side, but if they have this option, use that. Because now both clips go over and they get secured, so it's actually twice as strong. Just gotta remember to put the saucer in. Very important. This is gonna be so pretty. When these things get so many yellow flowers, it's amazing. Oh, got a helicopter flying over. It's a loud one. Coast Guard. For those that don't know, I live right on the ocean, so it happens a lot. Here's a bigger one. You can see that huge one. Well, that's old, so I just pick it off. And you can see how I'm breaking off. So if you ever go to transplant and stuff falls off, it's fine. Some things just have shallower roots. They don't get there. It's not a big deal. Or they haven't had a chance to root in the container you bought them in. Perfectly fine. They're just roots. And then there's a lot of different vines in here. So what I will try to do is kind of separate them just so it fills out more evenly. Yeah, see that? Nice and even. And then when you put the hanger on, it also helps to keep certain things in check, keep them in here. There we go. So you see I got 4 of them. Now we're just gonna go hang them up. I'm gonna hang them up right here above us. I have a shade cloth on the greenhouse, and these do like sun, so I put them in an area where the sun's gonna hit them from back over there without the shade cloth, and they'll get a little bit more than other things. But I do want to water them. Just like that. So we talked about some trade scantia, some ruby pearls. I'm going to show you one of the morning task I do. We'll call it quits for the live. But if there's anything you ever want to see, let me know. I think I might take a tour of my personal gardens one evening. Show you all the real cool mature plants. But one of my favorite, I grow a lot of big leaved plants. Bananas, colocaceas, any of those types of things. Ancetes. Problem with the big leaves is they love spider mites. Spider mites love them, so they're very prone to it. And I hate spraying. So part of my routine is, well, let me show you the big leaf plants, not me. So here you can see, I got all my colocaceas. And then what I'm gonna do is I just go along and I spray them with water. See if I can do this while I hold this. This hose doesn't fight me too much. Get the right jet set. There we go. So now I just go along every morning. And I'll do this in the evening too. Go up one way, and then come on hose, and I'll go back the other way. And basically, let me finish this. Let me not undo this. Doing things one-handed seemed to be a little bit more difficult than I expected. Sorry about all the shakiness. But there we go. And now I'll do that to the other ones too. And it's really just because spider mites are very small. They get underneath the leaves. Sometimes they're on top too, but they hate water. They're so small, they don't really like the humidity and they don't like any wetness. So we just go through and blast the leaves a couple times a day. I do it in the morning and at night. And it kind of keeps the leaves wet. It washes off any spider mites because they wash off very easily. It's just getting those undersides of the leaves that's important. So if you have a big leaf plant, inside or out, check it for the mites. And if it's inside, I take it to the shower and I use like a detachable wand, and that's how I spray it, let it dry, move it back. Do it once a week. But thanks for joining us for another live from Buddha. Hope you learned a few things. I'll get better, but I am off to do some more maintenance, and we will see you around with some more videos. Happy gardening.